Hi, and welcome back here to episode 109. We're going to be back on the Servi-car today. We are now currently on the left rear side, and we're going to be doing the left rear brakes. So episode 108 was right rear brakes. Episode 109, we're doing the left rear brakes. So if you watched episode 8 and you thought it was boring, guess what? We're doing the same thing, but now on the left side. But please tune in and stay logged in if you're interested. If this one doesn't interest you, give it a like and move on. But nonetheless, I will get started here. I'll move the camera over to the other stand there, so bear with me. So we'll just do a recap for those that may have not tuned in. I know my leg's in your way there. So this is the backing plate. So we started off episode 108. We installed a new wheel cylinder into the backing plate. So this was an original OEM wheel cylinder. It's even got the numbers still in the back of it there, but so I removed it and then installed a new wheel cylinder. So the brake line will go in here. That's the brake bleeder. And so I'm going to start by taking the wheel off. Again, I just had some temporary wheel nuts on there. I'm hoping they're just a 3/4 socket. I don't remember what they are, but it seems to be. Again, these are original OEM Servi-car wheels. They're solid. I got really good clips on them, and I have brand new deep dish caps that are going to go on it. I would like to get white walls because the front will be a white wall, but again, I'm just trying to finish it up here before the winter comes, to be able to drive it around the property and get it honed in the way I need it. And then I will send Mad Painter the parts for paint. I'll just move this tire out of the way. Now I got to take the axle nut off. Again, I'm just using an adjustable. Shouldn't be on there too tight. I may have spoke too soon. There we go. It's a castle nut. It will be torqued on, and then a cotter pin through the end of it when it goes back on. Again, I hope the drum comes off. It is keyed, has a keyway in it, and they talk about you need a puller, and the puller actually goes from the studs, because the studs are part of the drum, and then pushes off on the center of the axle. So I'm hoping that it's, there we go. I was able to just pull it off. So there's the inside of that drum, in great shape still. I'll go around with a little bit of, emery cloth later. My keyway on this side is still in play. I do have 2 new keyways. The seal doesn't look too bad. It's not leaking. There's a Zerk fitting on the back side here. So a Zerk fitting is what a grease fitting is. The actual proper name is called a Zerk fitting. I'll bring the camera over and see if you can see it. I'll set up my little light here. I gotta tighten the wheels on my little stool here. They're going all over the place. So I'll bring the camera over so you guys can see it. So that is a Zerk fitting. So I will use a hand grease gun and I will put grease in there, and that will fill the axle and the seal area. So, you know, on some cars it's filled with oil, on some transport trucks it's grease, some are oil, and then the wheel bearings are grease. And but that's a Zerk fitting right there. See if I can lower you down again to view it. I think that's the, oh, there we go. So there's a Zerk fitting. Grease fitting, Zerk fitting, whatever you'd like to call it, but its proper name's a Zerk fitting. So really sorry about this stool screeching like that. Let's get you set back up over here now. I'm not that good with my electronics yet, but we're getting there. Okay. So what we know is we got 4 bolts here that will go here, and those are the mounting bolts that the 4 bolts in the backing plate line up with. So I'll get my bolts and nuts ready. See if I can mount this on somewhat of the frame. So I've got 3 bolts there. Just make sure I got the right size. Yep. So this is Repop hardware from 45 Restoration in New York. I spoke about, I ordered it. I didn't get dinged with a duty or nothing. The box was fairly heavy. I ordered a bunch of hardware all at once. So I was actually happy I didn't have to get stuck with duty. So I just run it in with my finger first, and then I will tighten it up after. Like I say, here in Ontario, Canada, I like to use TJ's motorcycle. Oh, that's telling me my light's almost dead. But I use TJ's motorcycles in Corona, Ontario. And then I use Restoration 45 for things that I can't get from him. Jeff that owns TJ's, I'd say we've built a good customer ownership bond. He's the one I dropped my transmission off to the other day. I was having some problems shimming it up once the reverse gear went in, and I didn't want to take a risk of a rebuilt transmission having any problems. So he's taking it from me and going to give it the once over, and I appreciate that. So now I just go around and tighten them. Again, the same steps that were in video 108, just doing the left rear side now. Still got a lot going on. We'll talk about that at a later date, but we just trucking along here. Go see the surgeon tomorrow about if I'll be needing elbow surgery. So the tear of the long head tendon really did a number on my body. Not a lot of fun, but we're slowly trying to get back to somewhat of a normal. See, strength probably will never be there again. My movement will never be there again. I would like to get back on the mats, get back to karate, get back to Hapkido, and get back to jiu-jitsu. I don't compete anymore. Help teach, and but it keeps me fit and nimble. And just the camaraderie with the guys and seeing the young kids and even young adults keep growing the sport of martial arts and stuff. So yeah, just chatting with my grandmaster of Hapkido, Black Art Society, and we were just getting a game plan on what's going on this year. Last year I couldn't partake in class, but he had me going back and teaching class. So when I teach class, I just walk through and show the movements, and then like a demonstration, and then everyone else will break off and actually put that technique into play at a higher, faster pace than the way I demonstrated it. So I appreciated that. I'm a 3rd degree black belt in Hapkido, so military Hapkido through the Black Art Society, which is recognized by the Korean government. And then just work away at family karate here in Ontario. My daughters go there, and then myself, and it's I might be saying it wrong. I'm trying to think here. Shuran Karate, and like I said, I'm probably saying that wrong. But I'm a 3rd degree Kempo Karate black belt. But I am going there with my daughters, and just working through their system. John Marshall that owns that. He's the sorry, I'm having a tough time thinking right at the moment. He is he's the guy that owns the place nonetheless, but I was going to tell you his rank, and I'm having a brain fart right now. And then my professor for jiu-jitsu, chatted with him, and it's always good to tell your instructor what your goals are for the year, or when you've been off, what your goal is when you return. And I sat down and told him my goals of where I want to be and what my restrictions are going to be. And they are more than happy to compensate and work with me on that. One thing with martial arts you'll learn is the open honesty part about your body. It's your body and where you stand and where you need to be. You gotta communicate that with them. And if you don't, then someone will get hurt. So enough about the outside of the world of motorcycles. So again, we spoke on, we have one shoe with less brake material than the other. The one with more brake material goes on the back. The one with less brake material goes on the front. Reason that is as we're going forward, the wheel rotation, so the bottom shoe, the back shoe, as you can see, it's kind of, if I had a, I'm not doing well today. If I had a geometry tool on there, you'll see that this is actually going backwards. So this back shoe will make contact first, and then the front shoe will make contact. So that's why this one's got more material on it. Yeah. So as you watched 108, I had different ways of trying this to get it on, and I'm going to try the same type of principle again. I'm going to put the springs on the shoes first, and then try and get it in after the fact. I felt like that was my best option, but yeah, so you'll see the bottom spring has to go in here, and it's pretty tight there, so you got to kind of manipulate it through. But yeah, I'm just hoping for a resolution with my shoulder, my bicep, and my elbow here. To tell you the truth, I'm. The old saying is, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. So I just want to get back to some normalcy, which I'm hoping is coming after I see the surgeon tomorrow. I used to be 267 pounds walking around, and probably right around 13% body fat on a good day, and maybe 18 to 22 on a bad day. I always try to stay in shape the best I could. So I'm gonna try now. So I got the springs mounted. I'm really sorry about this stool. I gotta either lose some weight or get the wheels tightened up. Try and get this over. Excuse me. really pulling on it there. I don't think I've ever had a spring that I have on this, on the bottom, how tight it is. Excuse me. Again, I'll probably get some emails of guys telling me simpler ways, but until then, we just keep trucking along. I'm going to probably block you here with my knee. I apologize. Okay. Oh, I got to pull this one out a little bit. There we go. There we go. So that went a little bit easier than yesterday, but wheel cylinder on the backing plate mounted in. The front shoe has the shorter material, the back shoe has the more material. The holding spring, this is the return spring. The fluid will come in. The wheel cylinder, push out the two pistons to just make sure I don't have that pinched, the boot, which I don't think I do. Good. And then the fluid, I step on my brake pedal. Brake pedal goes through the master cylinder, the master cylinder rod will come to the back, which will push the fluid through. Fluid will come in here into the wheel cylinder, push out the pistons, apply the brakes. When I take my foot off the brake, the return spring collapses the brakes, fluid will come back in and be ready for the next brake application. So, if you guys remember these clips from 108, they have a little groove there. That groove is going to go up and in to the backing plate, like so. And then the same thing on this side as my head's in your way. And just like so. So there we go. So the left side took a lot less time than the right side, but I also learned a lot from the right side. So that being said, that is the brakes all set up. Just want to make sure I'm on the piston on this side and not the rubber. And then I'm going to slide my brake drum back on. You'll see there's a cutout for the keyway right there. And there's our keyway in the top. Again, I'm not going to press it on yet. I'm going to put it on, but I'm not going to press it on and run the nut on. Mainly because I want to make sure that my back spacing is all correct, and make sure I get that keyway aligned there. There we go. So there's our axle coming through. I would put my washer. There's actually a spacer there, which I have in the back table. Castle nut with a new keyway or cotter pin. I run that on. And then I would put the wheel back on. So that's both the rear brakes, the brake shoes, the brake hardware, the wheel cylinders are all installed now. The next thing we'll be doing, not in this video, but the next thing we'll be doing is we'll be taking the box off, and I'll be mounting the master cylinder and connecting the rod and then bending up the brake line. I've got the brake line. I'll also be putting in a brake switch as well. So stay tuned for that. Probably won't be till next week. We'll be getting on that, but yeah, stay tuned and keep following along in the Servi-car build. We're going to be trying to put in some hours once a week. I do have a full-time job and 2 daughters I run around, and so we come out here when we can. But like I say, I like to get it running so I can drive around the property. So I want the brakes, the front brakes are ready to go. I just got to put the bars on and put the lever on. But the whole front wheel, front end, everything is mocked up and ready to go. Rear brakes will be once we get the master cylinder in and the brake lines ran. Once we get that transmission, tranny's going to go in, primary's going to go on. Still got to get a distributor with the points. I'm debating whether to go automatic or manual. If I go manual, then I got to run it to my left handlebar so I can do the advance. I'm not too sure where I'm at on that. You'll see here, there's the battery box. That's an original battery box. I will clean it up a little bit, but I'm going to keep it as grimy as I can to original, as knowing that it's original. I got to get it mounted. Once I get the tranny in, then I can mount the muffler and the manifold. I do have to fix where the fishtail tip is on the OEM muffler, but I don't want to do that till I get it mounted and see where it's going to be coming out, because it is an original muffler. It's just got a bend in it and it's got one little crack. If it's in a spot where you don't see it, I might just weld the crack and then just let it hang, because it will just be hanging underneath the Servi-car, coming out right in this area. So the manifold's on the right side of the engine, and then the pipe will come out and just stop like right behind this spring. So if I don't see it, I'll just weld it up, and I'm not even gonna paint the muffler because it is OEM of the era, so original manufactured product, you know, off of someone's bike that either they restored or stripped down to sell. When I get the box off, I will loosen up all the mounting clamps, brackets, and then I will get them on. All the taillight wiring harness is underneath there as well. So once you get the battery box in, the wiring, you know, I keep saying it, people think, oh geez, that's so much to do yet. Really isn't. It's just got to get on it and get doing it. But again, I'm just going to hold this big stand. I don't know if you'll be able to see me or not. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Again, working on the 45 cubic inch Harley Servi-car. I'm hoping you can see me. If you can't, I'm really sorry. Just holding it out with my hand. And yeah, keep staying along. My email is obviously WB Customs Coach. And it's a YouTube, obviously. I believe when you click on the link, you'll see it. I've gotten 3 emails. I don't get many emails. I don't have the comments open, but fire me an email. I did sell some FXR parts from guys emailing me. So, you know, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me what I'm doing right. You know, a lot of people like to be critiquers out there, but so be it. But yeah, thanks a lot for tuning in. And we're just going to keep trucking along. So thanks.